Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the sort of vigilante style justice in this country, none of us will be saved. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we have seen in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Science, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Science.
We want peace in Liberia. Peace in Monrovia.
Robbie, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh no, Charles, tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athletes and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction.
One chicken say, Bobo ni Oko, it's a gossip. One chicken say, Bobo ni Oko, it's a crossing. Now every day I tell you this. 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 Soon on this break, they got no you to say. Shooting your friends, boom, gossip in every day. But I want every day I tell you this. Sometimes I take this, sometimes it's eternal to be positive. Come to my house, what you need, then you drink. Go to my neighborhood, you got it for me. What did they say in the cannon to do? And like the everything I tell you that I want to do. So no just pass the better we can get you out. Not keep glass, nobody can be it. Get on the floor.
Good morning, a very pleasant and warm good morning, folks, wherever you are joining our broadcast. We want to welcome you to another edition of the program from the Print News here on Freedom Communications Incorporated. It's good to be back on Tuesday with another edition of the Print News. My name is Esther Darku, and Wendell is off today. I bet you guys know he celebrated his birthday on yesterday, and I believe he wants the time out. And so I'm here this morning, and I will be joined by Tunis with for the weather report. And Let's have a great time together. We're going to be looking at two local dailies on my desk. We're going to be looking at the online version of the Daily Observer. We're also going to be looking at the online version of the Front Page Africa. And so I'm glad to be here again with another edition of the Print News. We want to quickly recognize our sponsors, Cram Stop Us Liberia. We want to recognize Mayuba and Sons and Cover Reader. We also want to recognize Excellence Best Price Store on the Garden Street and the Old Road. So, folks, this morning version of the front page Africa. We want to also recognize those of you following us via our online platform, YouTube, and on Facebook. We want to encourage you guys to share the live. Okay, so this morning the top story here on the front page Africa says financial experts warn blocking of AML expansion could load US 200 million hole in budget. This is right here, and we're gonna look at some lines. Let's maximize this and have some lines from this story. Well, I hope the internet doesn't mess with us because this internet issue these 2 days isn't easy. It says the Joseph Newman Barker. Sorry, let's get off this off the screen. The Joseph Newman Barker administration historic US 1.2 billion national budget may already be facing a major threat from within. It says emerging resistance to the AML or the ArcelorMittal Liberia expansion agreement is now putting at risk at risk the very revenue exemption that made the country's first $1 billion budget possible. According to sources, the senior insiders at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, the government's $1 billion revenue projection relied on several large income streams. Among them, the proposed ArcelorMittal Liberia expansion was one of the most important pillars, contributing an estimated $200 million plus in signature bonuses and additional fees resulting from the expansion deal to the total resource envelope. It says it was this projected amount that allowed the government to confidently move Liberia into its historical $1 billion budget era. The calculation behind the landmark achievement is straightforward. When $200 million in anticipated revenue from the expansion is deducted from 1.2 billion projection, the figure drops exactly to $1 billion. Recent controversy over a $96 million budget in error with no supporting revenue source further fueled public criticism. The MFDP has since clarified that the figure was a clerical mistake. Senior technicians maintain that while the error appears serious, it does not alter the deeper fiscal structure. The expansion revenue for AML remains essential for sustaining the budget. The mistaken amount was a symptom of documentation challenges, not a cause of the budget's fiscal vulnerability. Multiple government officials close to the process says a small but influential group of Ivanhoe and Link actors is actively working against the Settlement expansion. Their opposition has increasingly become a stumbling block, for the administration's revenue and investment agenda. According to insiders, these internal efforts could undermine the administration's credibility and push the government into fiscal instability. Okay, the accusation reflects a broader struggle over competing mining interests. Avanho, through its Liberia's subsidiary Avanho Liberia, is pursuing a rival infrastructure project that deepens or depends on access to the Yekepa to Bikana rail line. These competing interests have created what appears to be an internal split within the administration. The faction resisting the ArcelorMittal expansion is believed to be promoting the HPX agenda even at the expense of short-term fiscal stability. It says high risks for a national budget. The consequences of blocking the AML expansion could be severe without $200 million projected from the deal. The government faces an immediate budget pressure. This could have direct implications for development programs, payroll stability, service delivery, and the administration's ability to meet commitments made in the budget. It may also force the Ministry of Finance to reverse the national budget downwards, a politically damaging step for an administration that celebrated the $1 billion milestone as a symbol of renewed national ambition. Budget experts warn that a shortfall of this size could also affect Liberia's credibility with international financial partners, including the International Monetary Fund and other development institutions that monitor government revenue capacity and fiscal discipline. The internal contest over the ArcelorMittal's expansion is fast becoming a test of the administration's cohesion. Some senior officials within the National Investment Commission worry that the disagreement is no longer confined to the technical debates, but it is shifting into full political territory. The blocking the MLDU by officials within the MFDP, MOJ, and others may ultimately hurt Liberia more than any external political opposition. The expansion would have strengthened the country's largest concession, secured long-term mining revenue, and anchored a stable fiscal path for the next decade. The source at the National Investment Commission said. Many in the broadcast administration believe Liberia cannot afford to jeopardize its biggest budget achievement due to an internal rivalries or competing private interests. The coming weeks may determine whether the administration can realign itself and protect the revenue base needed to sustain the country's first $1 billion fiscal milestone. Okay, so that's the story. Let's run up more stories, but I think we have Ali on the line. Let's bring Ali in. Ali Masale, you want to greet the audience, and then we can continue our reading.
Good morning, Esther. Good morning, Mama Labura. Are you, Masale? Glad to be here this morning. How you doing?
Okay, I'm okay. It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's run through other stories this morning. On the front page, Africa, like I said, we are having some issues with the internet, but we are managing though. Let's see in the meantime if we can get our story from this other device. Hopefully, it's not going to give us problem. Okay, so we have come to this story. Okay, we have front page Africa right here. Okay, so we have it. So it says VP Kuhn staffer arrested. And this story, VP Kuhn staffer arrested in alleged bribery plot to free drug suspects. VP distances himself, backs full prosecution. So this is here. Liberia's intensified crackdown on illicit drugs took a dramatic signs in Vice President Jeremiah Cohen's office. Mm, Vice President Jeremiah Cohen's office for allegedly attempting to bribe officers of the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency to release a detained drug suspect. Okay. It's a Clifford Pay, the Deputy Public Relations Director of the Group of 72nd, an institution comprised of people living with disabilities that is being supervised by the vice president's office was caught on video allegedly attempting to offer cash to LDEA teens with 1,511 rocks of pooch with a street value of US $226,650. According to LDA sources, the suspect was immediately processed and forwarded I'm sorry, to the court early Monday morning. It was after officers began escorting the suspect through the legal procedures that Payne reportedly followed them and attempted to negotiate his release. Can you imagine? Interesting. But let's take more lines. Payne was seized on the spot and transported to a national security pickup after the alleged failed bribery attempt. It was only during his arrest and subsequent identity verification that he disclosed his attachment to the office of the vice president. Imagine. LD, a deputy officer in charge for operations, Patrick Kamanzu, told Publish Africa on Monday that Payne repeatedly insisted the suspect should be released. When he persisted that the suspect must be free, that was when he was arrested and taken to the LDA headquarters for questioning, Kamanzo said. He added that Payne is currently detained at the LDA headquarters and has been instructed to send his lawyer before a statement is taken from him, after which he will be forwarded to the Liberian National Police for hindering law enforcement. Kamazul emphasized the act of hindering the process after attempting to bribe the officer for the suspect's release will be paid for through the LNP. Payne is still under the custody of the LDA awaiting his statement. Observers say if Payne is found guilty, his action will validate long-standing complaints by LDA officers about the interference, on the top which they say undermine their ability to effectively prosecute the war against narcotics. The arrest has heightened concern long voiced by drug enforcement officers that politically connected individuals frequently exert pressure to halt investigations or secure the release of suspects undermining the government's anti-narcotic campaign. This is exactly what officers have been complaining about: pressure from people close to power. They want suspects released, they want cases halted, and when we resist, we become targets, LDA officer told Compass Africa on condition of anonymity. Imagine. It says, in response to the circulating video and growing political criticism, Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn issued a strong worded statement Tuesday, distancing himself from the arrested staffer and vowing that neither his office nor his family will shade wrongdoers. My attention has been drawn to a video circulating on the internet involving the staff of the Group of 72nd and officers of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. Let me state this with absolute clarity and without contradiction. Anyone connected to me, whatsoever means, whether by blood, by marriage, by employment, or by friendship, we who engages in drug-related activities will face the full weight of the law, the vice president said. He continued, whether it is my wife, my children, my siblings, or anyone linked to my office, the law will take its course without hesitation and without interference. Cohn's response marks one of the strongest public statements by a sitting vice president on allegations of drug-related corruption involving associates. His remarks mark one of the strongest public statements by a sitting vice president on alleged drug-related corruption involving individuals close to high office. His statement comes at a time when Liberia is grappling with rising narcotic trafficking, increasing cocaine and kush inflows, and mounting public pressure for accountability within government. We will leave you on that one and look for more stories here this morning. We have lots of stories to look at. Let's see the next one here. This says Cummins urges. Let's take this one. It says Cummings urges student leaders to embrace service integrity at the SDA High School in ELWA. Well, that's the story there, and this one here says Financial Express warn blocking. Well, let's have this open. Okay, Financial Express warn blocking of AML expansion could blow 200 million hole in budget. Okay, we've already brought you that story. Let's quickly run through most stories on the front page Africa this morning. We got some issues with the internet. That's why we, are having difficulties opening the different stories. But hopefully, we're gonna bring you all of the stories that we have from the Daily Observer. Let's see this one. It says Liberia LBDI renews commitment towards Liberia economy and Liberia's economy, and then that's it. And then it says Chamber of Mines commits to stronger partnership on New York. And we brought this story on yesterday. And this is our SDI trains customary land forest governance bodies in Maryland, Riverside, and River G County. Children's Right on a Spotlight. Deputy, okay, Deputy Bearers R and CH Ira Unicef concludes 3 days dialogue with uh, completion is further you grab a copy or come on it online and take some storage from here. This says Stone Teams Up with will flash for what has entertainment news, and we're not interested in that this morning. But let's keep looking at the most stories here this morning. Bishop Tio Barbie Robert calls for urgent national what? Let's have this story open and we can see it clearly. But another story here says Liberia validates its national strategy for PPR extract, I mean, extrication and other animal diseases. Bishop Theo Bobby Robert calls for urgent national action to rescue youth education. Okay. In a powerful keynote address at the official launch of the Transformative Youth of Liberia Scholarship Fundraising Program, Bishop Theo Bobby Roberts sounded an urgent alarm on the state of youth education in Liberia, calling for immediate national intervention to remove the barriers preventing young people from realizing their dreams. It says that the event held on Saturday honored the theme Empowering Dreams Through Education, brought together parents, teachers, youth leaders, and other stakeholders committed to advancing youth development in Liberia. Bishop Rabo describes the TYOL scholarship initiatives as far-sighted, timely, and critical, praising the organization for taking bold steps to support young people at a time when educational opportunities remain out of reach for many. Okay, so that's all we're gonna take from this story. Let's quickly jump to the online version of the Daily Observer. Let's see if we can bring you some stories from here. Daily Observer. Okay, we have the Daily Observer right here. Let's have it open. Right. Okay, we gotta manage. The internet is crazy. It's crazy over here this morning, but we're trying to bring these stories for you this morning. We're gonna just take a couple of stories from the Video Observer, and then we can pick our talking point from there. I don't know what the internet is seriously horrible this morning. But if we cannot, if the internet keeps behaving like this, we have to forget about looking at the Daily Observer and going to take word from our sponsors and come out with our talking point just from what we have on the Front Page Africa. Yep, I think is what it is. Internet is completely a problem, completely a problem. So we will take word from our sponsors and I think it's a little bit working. And one of the top stories here on the Daily Observer says Senate intensifies scrutiny of hydrocarbon sector. And this story is right here. We want to take some lines from it and then we can run to other stories. This says the Senate is heightening its oversight of the country's petroleum sector, demanding full disclosure from foreign oil companies, Uranto Petroleum and Total Energies, amid concerns over transparency, contact compliance, and protection of national interest. The court, led by Senator Edwin Melvin Snowe Jr., chairman of the Senate's Joint Committee on Energy and Hydrocarbon, underscores growing public pressure for accountability in Liberia's natural resource governance. In a strongly worded letter by Madam Marilyn T. Logan, Director General of the Liberia Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Senator Snowe stressed the need for exhaustive due diligence as lawmakers examine current and proposed production sharing contracts. The committee's review process is not an event, but takes on different forms, Senator Snowe wrote. The information being requested will support comprehensive due diligence and guarantee informed decisions that reflect the facts and aspirations of the Liberian people for their hydrocarbon sector. The Senate is demanding documentation on the operational history and credibility of the companies, including performance data from Equatorial Guinea, Venezuela, and other jurisdictions where Oranto and Total Energies have operated. It says Oranto Petroleum, a Nigerian-owned firm and one of Africa's largest privately held exploration entities, has often faced skepticism within civil society and global energy cycles. Lawmakers now seek confirmation of Oranto's claim of operating producing assets in Equatorial Guinea, requesting the specific name of the producing block, date of discovery, Oranto's equity share, and whether the company holds an operating or participating interest. The Senate also wants clarity on whether Oranto contract duration in Liberia has been extended beyond the 7 years limit mandated under the petroleum law. Lawmakers requested evidence of parent company guarantees, a critical requirement to cohesion Liberia against losses or liabilities should Oranto fail to fulfill its obligations. Senator Snowe questioned the rationale behind variations in signature bonus payment structures, demanding explanations for why some companies pay upfront within 30 days for ratification while others receive staggered staggered payment schedules. The Liberian people must be assured that all petroleum contracts entered into with foreign companies protect our sovereignty, or sovereign and fiscal interests, Snow said. Lawmakers also requested complete copies of all signed PICs due to terms related to ongoing bid rounds, documentation of all fiscal and operational safeguards, and provisions preventing unapproved block transfers or farm outs. The LPRA was instructed to submit all documents by Wednesday, November 26, 2025. We're going to leave it there and let's see if we can take a few other stories and then we can run to our talking point. Let's try to take a few more. SA professors urge TU graduates to lead Africa transformation. Liberia engages as regional aviation regulator. Liberia emerges as regional aviation regulator. And then we have here US 2.3 trillion of wealth sitting idle. We bought that on yesterday. And folks, so far, so good. These are all the stories from the Daily Observer. We're going to take word from our sponsors. When we come back, we will definitely bring to you our talking point.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the sort of vigilante style justice in this country, none of us will be saved. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we have seen in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Science, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Science.
We want peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia.
Robbie, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh no, Charles, tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athletes and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
He said, when you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, so going to 20, but put it to each.
Okay, folks, we want to welcome you back to the continuation of the program from the pre news, and now we have our real weather report guy to join us. All right, good morning, Tunis.
Good morning, Esther. I see you guys. Marcel also here. I don't know if he's still on. Good morning to him.
Yes, Ali.
Yeah, good morning, bro. Tunis, good morning.
Good morning. What happened with our brother? He enjoyed so much yesterday. He couldn't come out today.
The man, in fact, the man specifically said he wasn't coming today.
the day he was supposed to be absent, and the day he came.
Exactly.
Anyway, we want to, before giving you the weather report, we want to give a sad news. In the reggae world, the world is mourning the loss of one of reggae greatest pioneer, one of the legendary Jimmy Cliff, who passed away on yesterday, November 24th, 2025, at the age of 81. His wife, Latifah Chambers, confirmed his death, sharing that the legendary singer and actor succumbed after suffering a seizure following by pneumonia. So the reggae world, though we all grew up with Jimmy Cliff, Remake the World. Those are the one, the news, and there was another popular song, a lot of popular song. Jimmy Cliff brought up during
Mm. I
our
wish we were.
days.
I wish we were on the throwback to drop a couple of his songs.
I'll tell you, Jimmy Cliff, he was one of the best, among the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's the news. That's the sad news in the reggae world today. Those who follow reggae, one of the legendary died yesterday, which is the 24th. Our weather report here today, weather is 84 degrees as I speak, mostly cloudy, and it feels like 92.
Mm.
Probably you might experience chances of rain during the lunch hour, early or late in the afternoon. You experience that. A little bit of rain, don't worry about it. There's not going to be anything to worry you. You don't even need to take umbrella with you. Anyway, that's today, and that probably it will be a very good day for you. But midnight tonight, while you sleep, you might experience some rain, and that will cool off the heat. Yes, tomorrow, Wednesday, going to be 85, and you might chances of rain during the same time in the afternoon, and thunderstorm. That's going to be tomorrow, Wednesday. Then look at Thursday. Thursday is almost like Wednesday. I mean, all three of these days, Tuesday, today, tomorrow, Thursday, chances of rain in the afternoon. But in the morning, I don't know. Today you woke up with a lot of sunshine. That's what it's telling me here. And I think it's going to be cloudy a little bit. And then later on in the afternoon, you experience just a little bit of rain. But that rain not going to last. It's going to pass. So take a note and dress accordingly. That's your weather report from here. Really LIB here, Staten Island, New York, with Freedom FM 87.9, the most listened to radio station in the nation capital. Again, it's a sad news in the reggae world. I said Jimmy Cliff, the legendary reggae, one of reggae legendary, that's just passed yesterday at the age of 81. 81 by seizure and followed by pneumonia. So that's it from Freedom FM. I think we were one of the first to bring this to your attention.
All right.
Thank you so much for listening. And let me send control back to Esther.
Thank you so much, Tonis, for the weather report. Folks, you listen to it, and I'm sure you know how to govern yourself. And so let's come back to our Vera talking points.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Okay, Tonis, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. So, Aliyu, we are here, and let's talk about the. I don't know what our talking point is going to be. What are we going to talk about? Salamitaziu, or we're going to talk about this fellow in the vice president office who was caught with drug. I mean, I don't know what it's going to be, but let's hear from you.
Yes. Can you hear me clear?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, this issue about ArcelorMittal, like I always said, during President Boakai and Madam Salif administration, we heard that those people signed a Bucos concession agreement, and at that time, President Boakai was the head of the Senate, and people who were responsible for most of these things. And even though he said he was an old car or race car parking in the garage, he was there taking our taxpayer money, paying his salary, benefit, and doing nothing for the Liberian people. And today, as I always say, President Boakai, this is time now that we see the best out of you. For the 2 years you spent in government, we expect you to have known better and to have learned much so that you can govern the country well. At that time, you were just vice president. You people signed all those Bucos agreements, which of course you refuse to take responsibility of. Now that you are in power, it is time that you revisit those agreements and you make sure that they be put in the right place that will benefit the country that you keep to rescue. But instead, you fail to take responsibility because you were just a vice president and you are now a president. You are no more a race car parked in the garage. And this is time that you need to show to the Liberian people, yes, those agreements were signed. I was just a vice president, even though I was over the Senate. You can say whatever you want to say, but now you are the officer in charge. So now, you've been in government for a very long period of time. You know what Liberians need. You know the challenges, the problems Liberians are faced with. And this is my greatest disappointment in you. To spend 42 years in government, you never work out of government, you never work out of Liberia. You should know all the problems Liberians are faced with. That you are president today, we supposed to see this kind of thing happening. We expect to see smooth operation under your administration. So those agreements, you need to revisit them now, that it will be in the interest of Liberia. But it is quite unfortunate. We see that most of those agreements are just getting even said bad than it were before. So I don't really know what is the experience you came with. You said you were not in charge, now you are in charge. What is the difference? What are we seeing different than when you were not in charge? Now that you are in charge, as the matter, we still have people sleeping incontinent. We still have people living that kind of life that they're supposed to be living, working under a billion-dollar company. I don't know why the people, they don't put the interest of their citizens first. They always prioritize these companies, even though, yeah, those people, they are paying taxes and things to the government. This is how government is operating. But despite that, you can't take yourself so low to these people. You have to make them to know who you are and what you stand for. But instead, because of kickback, this is why those companies, when they come in, they don't respect our people. Because everything is all about kickback. They will say he's already old, he's not in charge. People will just say, oh, President Baka, just sit down, we will know what to do. Everybody is after kickback. So the whole ArcelorMittal deal, like I said, President Baka, you are not in charge. You're now the president. Try to see how you can revisit those concession agreements that they said they were Booker's agreement under the watch of you and Madam Sedi as vice president when you were vice president by that time. You know what Liberian need. Sign those agreements that will benefit the people, then signing agreement because lawmakers are getting kickback and you are getting your kickback as well. One thing I will tell people for free, this whole man, anything that had to do with kickback, you go or you can't, you on your own, it will be signed. This is why I see the whole Orante deal, people doing this, people saying this, people saying that. In as much as I thought easy or Wakana easy or Wakana Z, one President Waka get interest in that deal, lawmaker or senator, you go or you can down. That deal will be signed. Because at the end of the day, those people who will want to be high-headed representatives or senators, Baka is going to give you envelope and that deal will be signed because you know what he's going to get. This is one of my greatest frustration and disappointment in this whole man. As old as you are, what you want to do with money now? What you really need? You're supposed to rescue this country as you said you were coming to rescue. But everything that had to do with kickback and thing, he is a. And you go all your kind and say you're shooting man that people let it be considered not. You go ahead and do what you want to do. See the other construction agreement, they're talking about giving to future men. You go all your kind and it will go because Joseph Waka interest is there. So they tell me ArcelorMittal deal, we wait and see what the president is going to do. Like I said, he was bad president at that time. According to him, he was not in charge of the country. He couldn't do anything. But today that he's in charge, we want to see him to make sure that those agreements should be revisited and then they should be put in the interest of the citizen instead of in the interest of lawmakers and government officials who are getting kickback. And this issue about this guy that was arrested yesterday, or I just listened to him and Abraham Gosden-Williams. Like I said yesterday, even though the vice president got his spokesperson, but yesterday he was very quick to come out to speak. And like I said yesterday, I love the way in which the vice president spoke yesterday. Whether people will say, oh, it was a political talk, it was this, it was that. Okay, everybody had their freedom of expression. But for you to come out yesterday, even though he said this person here did not for your office, the group was on the second force under the vice president. Whether it be second lady, it be the hungry lady, it falls under your office. Okay. Even the article he bury is the office of the vice president, and nobody go over there to work without your consent. So that one, then he just get it clear. There is no way he can distance himself from this settle yesterday. And by him saying that when it comes to fighting drugs, it be his wife, it be his daughter, it be whosoever the law must take a course. This is how a leader should be speaking. Because this issue about drugs, you people yesterday, you politicized it, and we see how it is looking today. So if you will come out and be making this kind of statement, for me, I like what he said, and we'll wait to see one day, what will happen. Then we'll hold him by his statement. Like this guy that was arrested yesterday, I listened to him this morning. Hey, I listened to him this morning, and I also listened to the lawyer Anthony Gossen Ibrahim Gossen that this guy went over there. He got a family friend that was arrested for drugs, and he got information that people were over there allegedly receiving bribes and other things. And he went there, so he really wanted to intervene because he heard that this man was just over there. They were just keeping him there. First, all they wanted was money. So according to him, that's how he went there yesterday, trying to intervene. If yes, it were true, because he heard it from other people. And then people, when they have him arrested, there was an allegation of bribery that he went to bribe yesterday. And all of these things, which is not true. And even the charges that they put on him, it was nothing to do with bribery. They said obstruction and what have you. So we wait to see, because we are getting all kinds of information. He's a pastor, other people say he's a son-in-law to the vice president. So we were waiting to see how the investigation will go on, and then let's see if it is true that, oh yes, there was nothing the bribery that went on yesterday. Then we will know. We will listen to the LDEA under investigation. If there was anything he went there to go bribe and what have you, then we will know. Because I know in my mind that man will not just go over there all by himself. If they were on the line of bribery, to say he's going to bribe to get somebody out, somebody who was allegedly arrested, or they arrested them with drugs, to go and free that person all by himself. But something must be behind it. Somebody must have sent him. Okay. But we wait to see how the we wait to see how the investigation will go on. I can't say, oh yes, he went there to bribe, and I can't say he didn't go there, because I already listened to him this morning, and I listened to a lawyer, Abraham Gossen Williams. So now we wait and see the allegation, the speculations that were out there yesterday. Someone from the vice president office went to bribe LDEA officers to release of drug addicts or someone that were arrested with drugs. So the investigation now, this is where we know who is saying the truth. If yes, indeed he went to bribe, or he didn't go to bribe, because according to a lawyer, he was even there Sunday. He went to see his family friend, and we went there again yesterday. So for that, I don't have much to say. We wait for the investigation to be conducted, and then let's see who is saying the truth. Because we yesterday again, I heard some people from the LDEA saying, oh, they may been here before, he came to bribe me, and I told him the case I already got to my boss man, and I see making here again. So these are conflicting information we are getting. LDE say he went to bribe. He say he didn't go to bribe. He went to see a family friend. He overheard that people were bribing, this and that, all kinds of things. So from the investigation, we know he and the LDEA who is saying the truth. Then from there, we go ahead. If he just went there by himself, then we will see now what's going to happen. I saw the communication that he had been suspended. I was just reading it online this morning. I don't know how true is it, but all in all, we wait for LDA to carry on the investigation or the Liberia National Police. Let know who is saying the or bribing allegation, and then we know what is happening in the country. But again, President Boakai, he was Dutch president. You say he was a race car. You couldn't take responsibility of all those concession agreements that were signed. Now that you're president, we want you to sign concession agreement, revisit those agreements, and sign them in the best interest of the country and the citizens.
All right.
So that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you so much. Your points were all very relevant and very close to what I have to also say. When it comes to this issue of settlement time, I understand that people want to use politics, to prove a point where like the Liberia economy should be leaving from, or the budget should be leaving from us talking about millions into billions, right? Every true patriotic citizen of this country will want to hear that. We want our budget, to hit billion. But it should hit the billion for the right cause, for the right reasons. It should not be at the detriment of the Liberia's economy, because at the end of the day, when you have just one person, you know, running your entire mining sector or railroad in your country, it becomes a problem. Monopolizing it is going to cause a serious problem. You might not see it today, you might not see it right now, but signing agreements that are going to last for several years, you know, that's going to outlive your term. The next person comes in. The amount of resources, revenue that this government, that the country should be raising from these different sectors, and you put it in one man hand, only because if it lands in his man hand, it's going to help the budget reach, $1 billion. So should we just be thinking about now? Have we come to sit and project, for if we have more than just one, which is Salamintai, if we have more than a Salamintai in this country running, you know, uh, 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 this mining thing we're talking about. I mean, look at the revenue we're gonna be raising. Look at the revenue we're gonna be raising. Because if you're dealing solely with just this one company, you're monopolizing the entire thing. At the end of the day, mostly what you're supposed to get is not going to be coming to the country. And because people want to just, get what they can get right now, boosting this government's, how you call it? At the end of the day, they leave power tomorrow. And the next people are going to come there and it becomes a problem. So we're hoping that the president will be very wise in what he's doing. We're not going to be making decisions for just right now how it's going to boost this government. I mean, not just this government, but this political party. We should be thinking about the future of Liberia. I mean, everybody wants to be scoring here and there, but not at the detriment of the Liberian people. So we are watching. We want to see what the president is going to do about this. You know, it's almost like you got the choice of eating jollof rice today, and that's it. And eating dry rice today to have a better future ahead. I mean, you got to think wise or think wisely. And so we are looking at whatever the president is gonna say about that. Hopefully, he's gonna be in Liberia's interest. He's not gonna only be thinking about what kind of score he's gonna be scoring. Okay, and so the issue of this drug thing, I try following some of the video footage, and stuff like that. I really didn't get anything clear from there, because even the journalist who was asking the question, I mean, everything was just that kind of way. But what I would say here today is during the CDC's region or reign in this country, we saw a lot of opposition figures. They had a lot of things to say about President. We are bringing drug into the country. Even people who do not even know they are bringing kush and bringing that and bringing this. Do you see now what's happening? Do you now see what is happening? So because this guy has been caught, you know, trying to bribe officers, because I don't know whether he tried bribing officers, because what I heard from his mouth was his aunt tried giving the police, I mean the DA officer money, which is still very unclear. But the fact remains that you cannot pinpoint this thing on, I mean, using political, all of your political stuff you've been running with all around here to make sure that you guys get to power today. You ran those kind of propaganda in this country, talking about we are bringing kush in the country and bringing this and bringing that. You use that as a propaganda. Now, when people start to run around with these things, a guy who is connected to the vice president, he works in the vice president office, and he's not even afraid to say, I work in the office of the vice president. Was he trying to intimidate the DA officers or what? What was he trying to do? What was he trying to do? There are a lot of people that are involved with this drug thing, and until these people can step aside and allow the LDA do their jobs without threats and other stuff, this country is going to be right here. It's not going to go anywhere. Because it's not just about only the DA, the entire security sector. People use their power, people use their influence to get to where they want to have been for these people. Sometimes the laws are on the book. They will practice a whole different thing for several years until it's not in their interest anymore. When somebody who is on their end is caught, then they want to go to the book now and say this is this and this is that. Right to the issue of was there for youth development with this child case that was raped. We do not have the facts. It is alleged. But how many people were accused of rape in this country that you gave them the same kind of due diligence you're giving this guy? How many? So that's why we don't just run with things. You do not have the facts. But because you want to be involved with this whole political thing, dragging people here and there, you sit and say things that you don't even have any idea about. Now today it's your turn to be talking about you distancing yourself, distance myself from this and that. But the actual truth is going to come out because I hope the LDA will do their job. They will not go behind it, come and talk, make it look like they actually doing their jobs, and then go behind our backs, and compromise on things that we will not. The longest time we talk about things in this country is maybe a week or two, and after that, nobody's talking about it no more. How many persons talking about Brian McGill issue right now? Are we following up on that case? We're not. I mean, it's a core issue now. Nobody talking about it. But then the survivor is there. She's living whatever. She's going through whatever she's going through. And that's what it is. So we should take time on how we talk about things. Because sometimes just the thing you say about somebody that you don't even have facts about, it creates a serious problem. And that's why someone said majority of the things, negative things you hear about, you hear people say about people out there. These people don't even actually know the actual thing. They don't even know that person. They're just spreading that hate message because, you want to talk about it. Which is a really sad thing. This guy is arrested. He has been arrested. The vice president has distanced himself from it. Let's see what's going to happen. How is this guy connected to the person who was arrested with a drug? Was he trying to bribe the officers? I mean, the law should take its course. Because we will be listening, we will be watching. We want to see what comes out of this. because this is one of the major things that you guys talk about. Talk about the inflow of drug in this country when President Weah was in power. Now you are in power. Have you stopped it? Have you stopped it? Are the disadvantaged youth in this country not still taking drugs? Do you have certain people that you allow import and certain people cannot import? Because yeah, in as much as you're destroying drug in the country, you're stopping people, doing your work and stuff like that. Are you not compromising also? Because if you are compromising one way or the other, it's a problem. Because at the end of the day, the drug will still make its way into Liberia. It will still get the young people. The young people are involved in a lot these days. The ones who have gone to school, the ones who have not gone to school, they just put themselves together and they do a lot. Sometimes, I mean, we're shocked when we see some of the things we see on social media. A lot is happening in this country, and if care is not taken, the role the youth taking in this country, they see everything to just be, about flexing, being on social media. People should see that you're doing this and you're doing that. And that's why I can tell people don't let social media put you under pressure, because a lot of these things you see on the internet, go there in person and see what's actually happening. It's far different from what you see on the internet. It's far, far different. And so this is Liberia. If care is not taken, this is where the country is going to. People just wake up, people say things that they don't even have any idea of. Just say it.
But Esther, we know in Liberia, the Unity Party, according to them, George Weah were producing drugs to his
Mm,
Jamaica resort, okay?
exactly.
Kinabono or Jefferson Koji. These are the people that were bringing drugs into the country, destroying the youth of Liberia.
Hmm.
But today, those people, they are no longer in charge. They don't have access to the free port. They don't have access to the airport. They don't have access to all the crossing points, this borderline. Everything is in charge of the Unity Party. How are
Okay.
the drugs coming into the country? You
Exactly.
see, we talk about Kush. Yesterday, George Weah were bringing Kush. As soon George Weah left power, now we have 4 to 5 different drugs in the country. And this thing is clear. This issue about getting drugs out of the country under Bwaka
Uh, I think the internet got you breaking in, Ali. But it is what it is. It is what it is. That's why when we talk about being too fast to pointing fingers, this is it. So we now understand that people within the Unity Party government thinks or believes that they have the right, they have the power to bend things and let things happen. So we are watching the LDA. We're going to see what's going to come out of this case. We will do every follow up we are supposed to do to know what is going to come out of this. Because this is somebody who is taking advantage of the fact that they work in government and they can do anything. And like praying for nobody mind by it. You being in power doesn't give you the right to do things that are against the law or go against the law of this country. So we'll go to the telephone lines. Let's hear from you guys. What you guys have to say concerning this guy, who has been arrested from the vice president's office with this drug thing. This is a government that have ran around with this whole issue of uh CDC, hierarchies in the CDC party were bringing drug into the country. Now they are in power. We still see disadvantage youth taking in drugs. We still see, the huge inflow of drugs into the country and all of that. I mean, make it make sense that the fact that you use this drug thing to pave your way to power. Now you're in power. You have not even stopped it, an ounce of it. We still have drug flowing into this country. But let's open the telephone line before we take our comments. Call us on 0776 104 And do not forget, Marilyn will be here as soon as I get off. Keep your transactions coming in. Star 255 star 1 hash. It is $50 to play or 25 cents US dollars. We're doing a cash giveaway and she's coming to do as many draws as possible. I'm told she's going to do the first 2 draws. So keep your transactions coming. If you want to be part of those that are going to be winning, the first 2 winners, you want to be a part, just keep your transactions coming in. Play as many times as possible because the more you play, the better your chances to win. Okay, let's have our first call on the line. Hello, welcome to the show. Let's hear you.
I join you for my tickets so far to residence on to be called the Boca Avenue.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I listened to Aliu Mazari asking as to whether Labrador has been rescued. I want to answer him. I want to inform him that, yeah, Labrador is been rescued. Why do I say so?
Mm.
Okay? For the first time in the history of post-war Liberia, we have a stable electricity and water supply.
Stable?
Across Colorado.
Is that stable? Hello?
It's stable. It's stable. You are aware of that.
I'm not. I'm not. Where I live is not stable. That's why I'm shocked.
Today, we have the Eastern Rural Corridor. Today, the main you support former president, we are going to move on here to the Eastern region in hours. You don't have to sleep on the road.
Was it? So it was Baga Project. And that's all.
Today, the project is very rescue.
No, but we're not gonna keep you on the radio to keep lying to us. We can't keep you on the radio to keep lying to us, okay?
Yeah, thank you, man. This is Edmond. Let me say hi from my side. And I was telling that brother the other day, I think it is you. Yeah. When you come on this kind of a platform, and forget for attacking somebody, that is not proper. And
Right.
everything that brother always put on, it's just lie. Even if a platform wants to work, I got to say to the word. Even something they tell you got to buy it, whether the way we are not in the transit. So where is the water? It's not about reliable electricity. And even things, if
Edmond, I don't know what's happening to your line, but we're not hearing you. Edmond, are you there? Well, I don't know what's happening to Edmond's line, but let's take another person. Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
morning,
Good morning. Go ahead. It's in the afternoon, sir.
it now see the water stable in the country. The people get lying. The same lie that's bringing the power, like they say carrying on.
I thought I live in beyond Liberia.
Huh? What they must be lying there for? The water sitting at home. From the US took that and who call it who call it people call it people.
Okay, let's go to this line. Hello, welcome. Caller, are you on the line? Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Spencer.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Let me tell this Waka Avenue. Now one year I live for up the transformer. That's why the boss said the last that they carry around that it is dead doing. That's all.
I thought I live in beyond Liberia.
In the time for go and was out there before I want to come back. So the just gives you that's all. The Bible calls it. You get off, go. And so you are here for a military president. But this general president there, they say president will have a job. The woman is a just leader. That's what they will talk to them. Say, you get proof. I get proof. They might have proof in job. They might have proof where, but it's that. That the people are doing it. How far I came to go? Where can I know where? They yeah, but it. But I'm moving a bit for the send to press it about why they put it a lot. They put it better start putting on Esther. But I instead did it job. It's so hot. So just get great for what they for Esther. Then they get to looking for evidence. When you're talking, they say you have proof. They will have it proof when the president. Oh, president, we are out there to pressure. Then my proof did it job. I get evidence. Then they can't look for the people man. So just you know going power Esther and motor car. That the proof there was the we have one so if you somebody so why you not do it? That year today. Kalanu. Why is not case? For Musa Bede point jail. Because he support that for a Chicoba. Is he looking at the answer? He did drop a film for you. Jeremiah put his sack. Your people get 30 hours to the community. We know. Answer. That is generally not looking for LS.
Okay. All right, Bishop. Let's bring this other person on the line. Welcome to the show. Go ahead. Oh, I didn't cut you off. Hello, welcome.
Yeah. Afternoon or morning. How you doing?
I'm fine.
This is Reverend Morris from the Forest of Good Time.
Go ahead.
Thank you for the program. I'm somehow telling yourself that it's a thing that the current somehow able right here in Borough. Yeah. But in terms of the water, it's totally zero. Yes, they have all of the pipes run all around, but we have this thing, water came I think 1 or 2 times to collect it. When it comes to the electricity, one way or the other, they are stable for water, totally zero. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to another person. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Esther Dadu.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
And let me say good afternoon to the many listeners that are part of the broadcast. And let me say hi to my senior brother in the U.S., Ali Matale, for the public recognition. This is the voice of Sabu Rasta. I joined the show Esther from Point 4 in Zimbabwe. Esther, how you doing, man? Sister, how you doing, my love?
I'm fine. Okay.
Yeah. How the family, how everybody?
Great.
Yeah, let me say happy birthday. Because for me, I would say birthday because when you say free, you will take out the birthday. When you say belated, you will take out the birthday. Align, Esther?
You may go ahead. We get time more. Go ahead. We don't have the time.
Yeah, give me time. Give me the 2 time. Esther. No.
We got others on the line. You got to be fast. I know, right?
When yesterday the other people were I don't even expect that, but you remember that statement for the people from the executive bringing the Georgia of country. What is it to the man? Any man, got people not that for job. The people not that the people that people said in the team, like what bringing the team, I don't know what you have the devil go against devil. I mean, thank you for the show, but you know the show, but for the lament for the see the free to go answer the two can hard. That's why you keep going to answer for always say the truth. Because when you say the two will set you free. And when he said it, he said, nothing happening in the darkness that we're not going to deal it. So they like people will see what I said. So they will see it. And then I tell you, kind of tell person where we make you will make mistakes. They will take that message for the way we make mistakes.
Okay.
It's a big mistake. It's a big mistake. Thank you, man, my daughter. Thank you, my continue the show.
Okay. Let's have another person. Welcome to the show. Go ahead. They walking out with more? Run away from what? Run away from what? For me? For me, run away from what? Go ahead. I do. Yeah, sure, my sister.
I want to know your phone now. They are the plan to work for LS. I can't really understand they work LS.
We get proof. Until the man go to court and he's been proven guilty. So we gotta say alleged.
Okay, well, yesterday they were on record. Mr. Joe Buck, a lieutenant, in Livingston State, telling the Liberian that you shouldn't go for we are his predictor. In the country, if you want to say 11, he said, you want to begin a class. The clay is there, you can play all over around the world, the we are getting in to a business area. The George said it. He said it, yeah, give me the man said it to where. They must say elect. Then when I talk to the town, will say elect. I can't say elect. Anybody say elect, I will say proud with you on the platform. Don't say elect. Say who said it, George. Walk out, begin to put the top, walk out, said, get it. He said it. He got business over there. When God leaned and said, oh, just like it to be so okay. When you go for a guest, only on one is just for battery. So he gets that. Let's see the money. I say, like my brother, the people, you fast for that thing. Every person tell us that they make it, say, he won't fast. What about job? It's too much for him. He can do it. And I mean, what he said, I mean, go there. Before you know it, let me see it go. He said, I put a hotel, they said it's food. And he said, and what kind? They go for it. My kind of prayer, you can be your TV there, and land, and they go to the food. What can I put? Who can I make lawyer yesterday? Who the investigation? Who can lawyer yesterday? I think who make a lawyer? Who like we put lawyer? But the next say, oh, my phone, what's going on? He said, well, that's what I see, I go say lawyer. If who like we put lawyer? Who gave me lawyer yesterday? Started when you were getting food, or be working food up in the metro in Africa. So it's not a land. They post setting the job. But the next day, the people must stop making their job. When they will arrest somebody, they will call, oh, from my boss. When he say, well, maybe that man said that, they're happy. Then they did it. So they did job.
Okay.
So it's not far from who you are. It's not a land. He's breaking it. That he's getting a job. Thank you.
All right, my Sissy, thank you for calling. Let's come to our diaspora line and have this person. Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Joseph Colley calling from New York.
Welcome to the show.
They say what goes around. Yeah, they say what goes around comes around. Now with the Liberian people, the man Esther, the man Mary, the man Fata, the man Kebe, you people seeing the real drugs dealer down that were healing. Hey, you know, the Liberian people were not saying that they were throwing the rock and howling the hand. But now you people are saying who was calling your children, selling drugs all around the place. Joseph Walker and his children, all of them selling drugs. With a Jackie that used to be on the closing argument. They are the drugs agent now in Liberia, all around the place. They're selling drugs anywhere you can find it. They're going to Wasanga now. Can you imagine? At that time, drugs were going to be fine in Sano or any of those places that say George Weah. But can you imagine that? Even their DEA, the people can't bear it no more because it's just too much for the Liberian people. Because they get the power now and they got money, they are there on the rampage to destroy your children. And this is why, Vodka, you are a poor man, have nothing, you are living on loan. But now you are there displaying our Liberian people, breaking their homes down when you're not doing nothing on the ground to say you're doing construction regarding the road. You're just breaking their home down to display them. Vodka is telling a lot of you that are older, you don't belong in Morocco, he won't push you away. Even the motorcyclists, telling them, he just want to push all of you away that you don't belong in Morocco, you need to go in the butchers. That's what Broker is telling you. But this is the government that you brought into power on you. You see, when we were telling you people, this was the vision that we saw, that they men do not have the physical know-how or any ability of being a leader to lead your people. There are a lot of things that we knew about Broker when you were vice president. That man put a policeman in jail because his agent or one of his colleagues was sitting in the car on the lap when the policeman complained, and then the message was sent to him to tell him, saying, hey, look, that is not safe for you to have the child on your lap and you're driving. That man called Walker at the time as a VP. When Walker got a message, went and grabbed that policeman, dragged him, put him in the car with people that put him behind, but the man had to apologize. He did not even know what was going on. Now you have to give him the information that all the men you arrested or the men you dealt with the Walker client. What kind of rubbish is that? Well, excuse me for the expression of my sister. You know, because when we say that, sometimes we want to express ourselves in things, any kind of form of way we want to express ourselves, but we got our children listening in. Our brothers and sisters don't know one, but for them, none of them care. When they were there, they were talking all the rubbish were coming from your mouth. They were just speaking any kind of nonsense. But God bless you all, man. But this is what the Liberian people brought on themselves.
Okay.
Thank you. God bless you.
Okay. Thank you for calling. Let's have this person. Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, I went off the line. I didn't complete my thought. That's
Yes.
all. You know, so that whole thing that happened about that drug issue is very, very fishy. It is difficult for anybody to convince me right now that the vice president and the individual that was sent, to that particular scene, didn't know anything about it until you prove me otherwise. Because look at that scene yesterday. What caused the commotion yesterday? What brought the tension yesterday? Already is arrested, and I have gone there to go see what we could do to free the person or whatsoever to negotiate. And then what brought the confusion yesterday? That you see on the video on the social media, like even caused him to produce his ID card and working in the office of the vice president. And then the DA officer has said this have visited him and office according to the nuclear term more than 2 times before he could follow it up now to where that commotion took place yesterday. What rather encouraging to do what he did yesterday? So it is hard to be for him to be vindicated until proven otherwise. But that other DA officer, I hope his job will be secure. Because that other man that came up, and said the higher up was involved in this drug. He lost his job. So that other one that happened yesterday, he must be on the watch because who knows? He could easily lose his job. So everything is around this drug thing. I will not be afraid working with you. You don't send me, then I will be happy to call that office needs outside you working with that office. It is clear that he working with the vibe. So quickly to the metal issue. Look, metal, the government did it. They are rushing because quote unquote they want $1.2 billion. They want to collect money here and there, which of course the budget is empty, nothing is there for the Liberian people, for the elite. Even when I call on Bwaka to withdraw the budget and reset the budget so that it can reflect the Liberian people. And that's what we said to that father minister the last time. He jumped on the media, the reason they cannot increase civil servant salary is because President, we are government credited money from Central Bank. How much is the money you talk about? $60 million. Are you kidding me? You got $1.2 billion. Then you shut off $60 million for increasing the salary. And we told him that finance minister, you are aboard to do it. That is from the background from which we come. You cannot lie to us. So that budget is empty, and that is the reason why they are pushing back and I believe that Meta should do more for the Liberian people. Look at the housing facility for the people. Look at the living condition. For other ministers was pushing for the increasement in the percentage that Meta gave the Liberian government annually. These are some of the things that will get their position. But we only want to do more, and they cannot come here $200,000, $200 million, $200,000. It's a trap in the bucket. So this is why now the legislature now are now working around the budget to see the insincerity or the sincerity of our budget. Because if they pass under 1.2 billion or even more, there's going to be more budget shortfall to come. You are not here to do quality with the budget because it is a projection. You raise the money, you got to put money before you speak. So thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for your contribution. We don't have the time. Aliyu, you want to close up quickly so we can hear?
Yeah, thanks to all the callers for making their impact on the show. This issue always, I think this is this guy's second time telling me that there is stable electricity in Liberia and there is stable water supply in the country. Telling me about Southeastern Road where he am following Yeke Koloba tour that he making the round and I seen the deplorable road condition in those areas that he's always coming to. I think you just need to join this other guy called Developmental Azigo JMB son so you guys can be touring and bringing up part of lives and say, first of all, I will be talking to my families and friends in Liberia. Sometimes they will just say, oh God, I say, well, I'll be quarrel going again. Sometimes we talk 15, 20 minutes, there will be no electricity till we hang up. the next day they will say, say Lana we're talking current when even second you or say Lana current when a jet scheme. Is that why you call stable electricity? You know the meaning of stable? Go take your dictionary or Google stable in your phone and know the meaning of stable. Don't kind of be telling me say you just feel like we can just say it because we in Liberia, so we know nothing about Liberia, what's going on. People are paying for water, they can't even say get water. You come and be talking about stable electricity. I always say this. Some of the opportunity JMB said the squander was that hydro. Because the money we use, the money that was used for us to rehabilitate the man corporate hydro, we did that way. It could build a brand new hydro that could serve almost the entire country, maybe about 30 to 40 counties within the country. But these are some of the squandering that they carry on in our country. That today we are still struggling for stable electricity. When you make it say now we get stable electricity. Stop lying here. Not because I'm not in Liberia, I don't know anything about Liberia. I know something about Liberia that you don't even say no. Thanks to all the caller, and again, I want to say happy pre-birthday to my wife, Aminata M. Masali. November 29th, Saturday will be her birthday. And also to my CC, she too, November 29th, Saturday will be her birthday. And everybody who birthday falls on that day. So Saturday will be my birthday, and there's be Friday, December 5th will be my birthday.
Wow.
Have a good day and stay safe.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right, folks. So this is how we like to draw down credits on today's presentation of the program from the Print News. Aliyu Masale was here. Suleiman Hashim Tunis was also here with the weather report. My name is Esther Daku. Until you hear from us again, that will be on tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Do have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye from our end.